How's it going, everybody? It's Jake from Down the Middle, and it's been a crazy week, but I'm still going to get you that special treat. Episode 2, Season 1, Episode 2 of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up, the internet wrestling show that I did 17 years prior to Down the Middle. Actually, 17 years from now, probably 15 years before Down the Middle started. But anyway, that's not why you're here. So, wow. Clearly, I don't remember this show very well because I have been saying for years that it didn't become a comedy until the third episode. That is not true. We started some comedic bits in this one. I would say it becomes a full-blown comedy in episode 3. This one does have some funny moments, including the debut of a recurring character, that of John Cena. But John Cena is just hot stuff Joey Holmes wearing a t-shirt that says "I'm John Cena" with a spinning belt. It also features a very special real life in public interaction with fake John Cena. But more than anything, I don't remember this being this early, but we do touch on, for those of you who have been wrestling fans since the Ruthless Aggression era or beforehand, this was the Monday Night Raw where people knew about what happened with Chris Benoit, but this was the start of a few programs where they were doing the tributes because we didn't know everything that happened yet, and they didn't. So it basically was a Chris Benoit tribute. So we do address that at the beginning. However, the comedy bits had already been recorded, so we didn't scrap them. I wouldn't say it's in poor taste because it doesn't really have anything to do with any of that. So this is episode 2. So this starts the week of, I think it would be June 25th, starting with Monday Night Raw that week and then going through the week of wrestling. So sit back and enjoy the retro glory that is Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up.
Hello, I'm Joey Holmes. Before the start of tonight's program, I wanted to comment on the tragedy that occurred almost 7 days ago. We learned Monday that WWE Pro Wrestler Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and their son Daniel were found dead in their Georgia suburban home. At first, nobody understood why this tragedy had taken place. Since then, we've learned a lot. I won't go into detail on what the rumors are because it's not important. The only thing that's important here is that 3 human beings are now gone. One of them was, honestly, my favorite pro wrestler ever. And it hit me hard. But, again, that's not what's important. Weekly Wrestling Wrap-Up would like to send its condolences to the Benoit family, to Nancy's family, and to anybody else who is truly affected by what transpired in that household. The only thing that we want is for the truth to be found. Whether the media is right about what occurred or whether they're wrong is something that we'll find out in time. Until then, I would like everyone to keep an open mind and to remember that, unfortunately, 3 people are gone and they're not coming back. And that is the greatest tragedy of them all. And we may never find out the truth of what occurred in that household. Only 4 people know what happened. 3 are gone, and the other one we have a hard time believing in when incidents like this occur. So all I can say is that from everyone on the show, we hope the truth is found, and again, our condolences are to all the families, friends, and even to the wrestling audience who is deeply affected by this tragedy, because I know I am. And I appreciate all of you who are keeping an open mind about this situation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the weekly wrestling wrap-up. I'm Jake Russell.
I'm Hot Stuff Joey Holmes. At the very beginning of this, you saw something that I taped. I chose to say what I did because, like I stated, Benoit was my favorite wrestler, and he was one of Jake's favorites. So we're going to take a few moments to hear some of Jake's thoughts on this terrible situation.
I have very little to say about it because you either feel the same way that I do or completely different. Instead, I'm going to tell you how I found out about it and what went through my mind. Regrettably, I was actually not at home when the news was released. I was at the store just picking up some food, and Joey gave me a call and told me Benoit was dead. And at first I thought it was some kind of dumb storyline, and I was thinking, why are they playing on this? Vince didn't do a good job with it. Why is Benoit dead? And then Joey said, no, he's really dead. And I went home, and it was the Chris Benoit tribute show. And and then I then learned that his wife and son were dead as well. Just tons of things were racing through my mind. At first I was incredibly saddened. And then the reports came out that it was a double murder, suicide. I couldn't believe it, but we're not here to voice our opinions.
No.
What's important is that, like Joey said before, 3 people are dead.
What's important here is that the show does have to go on. And we cannot forget about this tragedy.
We cannot let it hinder us either.
No. In the months to come, we are probably going to find out very personal and very detailed information about Benoit's life, which is not our business, but in order to find the truth of what happened over that weekend, it's necessary. So we will try to keep updates on the Benoit situation.
And we will not report anything that hasn't been proven as fact, because there are tons of rumors floating around the internet.
Yes.
And
Which
you, the viewers, don't need any more unproven facts.
No. And I won't even voice my opinion about the media. So there's not much of a Raw show because it was a Raw tribute show. It was done very elegantly. Showed a lot of Benoit's greatest moments. Even paid tribute to his wife and son, which I thought was very, I can't think of the words. Noble, appropriate.
Appropriate.
So, but like we said, the show must go on. And Benoit, to me, you'll always be my favorite, no matter what the outcome of the situation is. Again, I won't voice my opinion, but to you, your wife and son, I hope that you're able to rest in peace. So, beyond that, I guess we should tell them our exciting news.
Our exciting news.
Yes.
In lieu of them not having a defined episode of Raw, we have arranged for an interview.
An awesome interview.
With one of your favorites.
And
Maybe not your personal, but
we'll say he's a controversial favorite. We're not going to say who it is. We're going to let you see for yourself. So we were lucky enough to get this rare interview from this champion.
And now, without further ado, we'll take you to the interview spot where Joey Holmes himself asks questions.
Hello, Weekly Wrestling Wrap-Up fans. I'm Hot Stuff Joey Holmes, as if you didn't already know that. Today, I have a very special interview. We are very honored, and I do mean honored, to have with us the WWE Champion, John Cena. Dun, 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 dun. My name is John. I have a belt. I wear some shorts. Camouflage. I have a belt. Well, it's good to have you here, John. It's good to be here, Mr. Holmes. John. Champ? Do you see it? See what? Do you see it spinning? Yes. Yes, I do, John. I do see it. Did you know that in Roman times, the gladiators who were strong enough to withstand their enemies were awarded with spinner belts? No, I didn't know that, John. Actually, I think your take on Roman times is incorrect. Well, I don't think that. Okay. You had an amazing match at Vengeance. You defeated 4 former world champions, and you FU'd Mick Foley, and you beat the hardcore legend himself. I mean, what's your comment on that victory? Well, it's a good thing that I won. Because I can still do this. So, what's next for you, John? Well, first, I'm gonna do this. John, I would really just like to continue this interview and discuss another subject that has nothing to do with your belt. Well, I would love to, Holmes, but there's one problem. You can't see me. Yes, I can. I can see you. Getting a headache. Okay, let's get to the next question. Now, you... Holy crap. I can't see you. Told you. Wow. This has been an effing interesting interview, hasn't it, folks? John Cena had to disappear. So, and we're out of time. Thank Christ. So, for a weekly wrestling wrap-up, I'm Joey Holmes. This was fun. Recording.
Hello everyone, I'm Jake Russell. Welcome to the ECW review. ECW this week started off with Vince McMahon making a statement regarding the Benoit incident. We'll go into it. If you watched it, you know, and if you missed it, it wasn't all that important. But first match of the night was a championship challenge between the new ECW heavyweight champion Johnny Nitro and the WWE champion John Cena, who you got a chance to hear his personal thoughts on earlier tonight, because Nitro proved that he could play with the big boys. He still lost, but he could play. It's better than not being able to play at all. Anyway, then ECW got one hell of a surprise when the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, showed up, claiming that you were not hardcore until you have been through everything he has. Which I'm not going to argue, because it's Roddy Piper. Anyway, Matt Striker then came out and Piper took it as a challenge, but Matt Striker just wanted Roddy Piper to celebrate his birthday. And he did. In the middle of singing Happy Birthday, Roddy Piper gave him a face full of cake And then Boogeyman came out and gave him a face full of worms. And the biggest match of the night was CM Punk versus Elijah Burke for the number 1 contender spot for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. Wonderful match. One of the best matches ECW has had in a little while. What a lot of people don't know is that match was actually part to decide the number 1 contenders match. Number 1 contender, part an homage to Chris Benoit. In lieu of the circumstances, not going to go into any details or my opinions, but you have to admit his career was amazing, and it deserves to be honored at least a little, especially among his fellow wrestlers. But like I said, we're not here to argue my opinion or your opinion or their opinion. The point was it was an homage to Benoit. The technical aspect in which Burke and Punk kept on trading pins. Very Benoit-esque. He did it with a lot of very, very famous wrestlers. Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. He did it with several people. And it's just it's a classic Benoit maneuver, and it's thrilled fans again and again, and it deserved to be done. Anyway, details in the match. Elijah Burke scored the first pinfall after hitting CM Punk with the Elijah Express and then scoring the pin. CM Punk then got the second pinfall by rolling Burke up next to the turnbuckle. Got that one. And then finally, after very, very decisive and resilient Burke, finally fell prey to the GTS and went to sleep. Punk got the pin and won the number 1 contender spot for Nitro's ECW title. Really, really great night. Really great episode of ECW. I hope Punk really goes forward with it this time. Nitro came out and gave him the death glare, and then it ended. But a really, really good episode of ECW. I can't wait to see next week, see what happens then. I imagine at Great American Bash, it's going to be CM Punk versus Nitro again. But anyway, now we're going to go to the TNA segment with Hot Stuff Joey Holmes. See you there.
I hope you're enjoying this episode and this look back into the past, but I want to take a moment and tell you about our friends and great partners at Vizard.ai. Listen, if you make content on the internet, particularly short form content, Vizard.ai is an essential tool, especially if you're like me. I create shorts and clips for 14 podcasts, okay? That's a lot of time and effort, and Vizard.ai makes my life so much easier. Basically, how it works is you can upload your full-length podcast, video clips, whatever you've got that you need to make short-form content of, upload it into their platform, their workspace, and you can choose the parameters, whether you want, YouTube Shorts, something optimized for TikTok, Instagram Reels. You can select the times you want, or you can choose whether you want mobile format or standard 16:9 clips. You can even search for specific keywords. And the best part about Vizard.ai is it gives you a viral score once it populates your list of clips. And based upon algorithmic data, it's giving you its best estimation as to whether or not this clip is a good option for going viral and why. I'm telling you guys, it's so great. This is optimized more workflow in ways that I can't even properly express right now. And as if that weren't enough, our friends at Vizard.ai have a special deal for you. If you sign up and use promo code DTM when you sign up, you get 5% off all your payments for the first 12 months of your service. So if you want to optimize your workflow and create even more high quality shorts content, then you need to start using Vizard.ai. Click the link in the description and use promo code DTM to save. Do it now.
Hi, I'm Hot Stuff Joey Holmes. Welcome to the TNA/Smackdown wrap-up. Okay, I'm ready to go. Okay, TNA first, because it was on Thursday. Thursday's before Friday. Friday's not before Thursday. Let's go, it's exciting. TNA had an hour-long match, which is pretty unheard of in wrestling today. Or it was, I guess, 35 minutes, because there were a lot of commercials, but still. For the TNA Impact Zone, it was an hour. For the TNA Championship, the champion Kurt Angle versus the other two guys, Christian Cage and Rhino. Sorry, I've been drinking. Honestly, my pick for match of the week, it had a lot of action in it. Samoa Joe came out, the new X Division champion, and started to beat the living crap out of Angle, but he came back in. He was okay. He had a couple boo-boos, but they put some Band-Aids on him. It was all good. The match went fairly well. Christian was attacked by Abyss after a while, and they went into the parking lot, and Christian's little pussy group came out and started to help him against Abyss. And then Angle and Rhino, I swear to God, towards the end of the match, had a hell of a match against each other. Looked as though Rhino might have won it. Christian came back out, and then Sting came out, and it was just a lot of stuff going on, which made it so much fun to watch. And then Angle got the Angle Slam on Rhino, and of course defended his championship, which I have to say, Angle screwed himself badly. I mean, he got screwed worse than if he would have actually went to prison, because he's going to be partners with Samoa Joe at Turning Point, and Joe's not going to have his back. Us Joes were known to just not care about anybody else. So Samoa Joe, good for you. That was it for TNA, but honestly, my choice for match of the week, it was awesome. It was TNA good entertainment this week. SmackDown. Right after the pay-per-view, and not exactly the most exciting show, the only title match was Chavo defending against two men. I won't even say their names because they don't deserve to get their names mentioned on this broadcast. Chavo won. Good for you.
Oh, Chavo!
Crime Time actually finally came back after, I don't know how long they've been gone, quite a while, and had an okay tag match against the tag champions Deuce and Domino. They lost, but in the end, they won because they stole Deuce and Domino's car, and eventually, I think they're going to pop their cherry. By that, I mean their manager, so I know Crime Time might have been in prison and all that stuff, and I don't know what it is about all the prison and anal sex jokes, but here we go. Kane actually had a really good showing against MVP. Hopefully Kane will get a title match. Ric Flair beat Carlito, which it was a good match, but it's getting old, so stop it. Carlito needs to just stay on Raw, go after the Intercontinental title, do something. Just leave Ric Flair alone. He's going to kick your ass until he's 95 years old. I'm not kidding. But it all led to the main event between Batista and Edge. Non-title match. Batista won. That's it. It was obvious he was going to win. He had to win one eventually. I mean, good Christ. And they were showing clips the entire night about the three matches they've had before. And, you know, honestly, I like Edge as champion. Batista, your time has not passed, but it's getting pretty damn close. I've always been a fan of yours, big man. But I just think Edge has more charisma, and I do like the rivalry. So I know the last match was supposed to be, the last opportunity for Batista to get his title shot. Well, WWE, they lie a lot. So, probably at the Great American Bash, Batista's going to get his next title shot. I don't know how. We'll find out within the upcoming weeks before American Bash. So, that's it. I want you to get out. So we're going to go to the final segment of Weekly Wrestling Wrap-Up with me and that other guy. I don't know his name. Really, nothing much happened this week besides the obvious. So in honor of Benoit, we've both chosen our favorite Benoit match. And you can go first. And both of these will be our memorable matches of the week. So,
well, and like my colleague Joey Holmes said, I don't really think that this isn't my favorite Benoit match per se, but I think it's the match that honors his achievement the most. Because he did win the World Championship, but that's not the match that I chose. I chose the Royal Rumble just before the Royal Rumble that he won to get a shot at the World Heavyweight title. I think that was incredible because the only man to do that prior to Benoit was Shawn Michaels. And he was number one pick, number one.
And Ric Flair, too.
And Ric Flair.
I forgot about Ric Flair. The Iron Man of wrestling. Well, I guess Shawn was the Iron Man. You know what? They both were. They rocked the ladies.
Anyway, Benoit did a great job in that match. And that's why I picked it. And I recommend, if you haven't seen it yet, you really, really should.
Royal Rumble 04. Benoit's year. My match was really the match that got me into technical wrestling, whatever the hell that means. It was a match that took place on my birthday in 2003, the year before. It was actually the Royal Rumble before his infamous Royal Rumble, where I think Benoit had the match of his life for WWE against the WWE champion Kurt Angle. And they wrestled for about 20 minutes, just solid wrestling, not a flaw in that damn match. And Benoit tapped out, you know, he had no regrets. So that was the match that really made me a Benoit fan, and an Angle fan too, and why I continue to watch Angle on TNA. So we were hoping, we didn't want the show to be too
focused on the tragedy that happened.
Yeah.
We wanted to keep it somewhat lighthearted, but remind everyone that.
I think the Cena interview did that. Cena, I think he drank before he did the interview.
Yeah, I think he had some Rogaine too.
I think he did too. Yeah. And
What was wrong with that guy? Where did he go?
I don't know, and it's very eerie. Whoa. Sorry. You know, Kali's not that big. You just add his height and editing. In real life, he's 4'2". He still weighs about 500 pounds, so he's a fat little midget. I've FU'd him so many times. Lost track. You know, I had a rap album. Sold a lot of copies before these fans turned on me. It's a nice car. I rented it. You know what this car needs? A big spinner. Right there in front. Every time I get out of the car, I talk to the ladies, because all the ladies want to talk to John Cena. A large Pepsi. What else does John Cena want? And an 8-piece thing of mozzarella sticks, please.
So a large Dr. Pepper, a large Pepsi, and a large mozzarella stick?
Yes.
Okay, it'll be $8.21 at the window.
Thank you. I'm John Cena. She doesn't even know who she's talking to. I'm the WWE champion. You don't just get that overnight. I mean, I did, but... What the hell am I doing? I'm sorry, sometimes John Cena makes mistakes. I ordered mozzarella sticks because they're good for the abs. Wait, I spin my belt. Honk if your experience was great. John Cena's experience was awesome. I didn't get chlamydia.
Hey, are you John Cena?
Yes, I am, ma'am. Could you tell by my spinny belt?
Sweet ass.
That's what I was thinking. Undertaker just challenged me.
What happens, John Cena?
You know what? I even got the knife to talk like that.
Yes, Cena needs napkins. Thank you.
Have a great evening, John Cena.
Thank you, ma'am, and everyone at Arby's for your fine service for the WWE champion. You want my belt? You gotta take it by force.
John Cena.
I've beaten Kali and Umaga, all these people. You can't take my belt. Plus, it spins.
I'll take your belt. Right here in the parking lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Cena don't fight in the parking lot.
come on, this is hardcore. Look, we'll even get it on videotape.
If you've ever watched wrestling, Cena doesn't do hardcore.
Well, fine, then I'll just build you a ring out back here and smack you around a little bit.
That'll work.
I won't even pin you.
You won't
I'll
even
just take
pin me?
your belt.
Oh. Cena don't like that idea.
Better yet, I'll just throw you over the top rope and we'll just act like it's a battle royale.
That'll work. It'll protect my face. The moneymaker.
John Cena.
Oh, see, now you call it your moneymaker, and I might just smash it in a little bit.
Cena makes mistakes just like everybody.
Oh.
Goodbye, spinner belt. So long.